Hello, you are welcome to Tiki Fish Farm and Smokehouse. So we are still on the preparation of our 4 tons capacity earthen pond. This is the pond that I told you that we want to raise 4,000 pieces of juveniles to 1 kg average weight, and we've been able to remove all the fish inside the pond. We've been able to introduce water, and we've been able to remove all the muds, and we've done the sterilization of the water with lime. So now what we want to do is the laying of the net. This is a prey net. You can call it fish cover net. Look at this net. It might look soft, but this net is very strong. It has the ability to trap snakes. It will prevent snakes from gaining access into your pond. It will prevent frogs. It will prevent birds, gray heron, all those birds that eat fish. It will prevent wild ducks. It will prevent all sorts of predators that will want to eat your fish. When you bring a juvenile is like this, maybe 8 centimeter. When you bring them, they are prone to attacks from birds, from snakes, from frogs, from crocodile, even from fish, way bigger fish. That is if you have a big fish in your pond. That is why it is always essential to make sure that we remove anything that you have in the pond before you bring in a new set of fish. Now, as the pond is ready, those frogs that lay eggs, they will want to jump inside this pond and start laying eggs. Now, they have their own advantage. It's good to allow them to lay eggs. They also have their own disadvantage, but we'll get there. If you don't cover your pond on time and frogs jump inside, those frogs, they will lay eggs. After some weeks, the eggs will become fertile and they will develop tadpoles, lot of tadpoles. And those parent frogs, they will be protecting their eggs. When you introduce your juvenile, you'll be surprised that those hawks, the one they call onion in Yoruba, they used to swallow fish. They have a very big mouth. They can eat juveniles. I've seen a situation whereby we caught one frog, we opened the stomach and we saw about 4 juveniles of fish. Imagine, one juvenile like this is about 50 naira, the clearest juvenile around here. So imagine one frog eating 200 naira worth of fish in one day. When you introduce your fish into the pond, catfish are carnivores. When they see those tadpoles inside the water, they will start eating them. They will start eating the tadpoles and they will be growing big. But at the same time, if the mother frog is inside the water, the mother frog will be attacking your fish. As the fish is eating the tadpoles, the mother frog will be eating your fish too. So me, I would prefer we net the pond to prevent anything, since the fish we want to culture here are the ones that we want to buy commercial food for. We are going to be feeding them with the feeds that we buy. So Mr. Francis is laying rope. Now this rope will serve as support system for this net, because when we are placing this net, when we are spreading it over the pond in order to cover all the surface and all the edges of the pond round, the net will need a support system. It needs to rest on a rope. After resting on the rope, we will get bamboo sticks. So we'll enter the pond and we'll raise it up. We use it to pull the net up so that it will be far away from the surface of the pond. Because the reason why we do that is when these gray herons, those birds that eat fish, or the wild ducks, when they come and they perch on your net, if there is no support system under, when they perch on the net, their weight will take them down towards the surface of the pond and they will be able to pick your fish. So, and you don't want that to happen. So what he's doing is he's making sure that he's putting the ropes in such a web manner so that when we spread this net, the net will just be resting on the ropes. So this net, I think a bundle we got it for, is like silk, like twine. So we got a bundle for about 30,000 naira around here, and a bundle can net 2.5 of this type of pond. Maybe it will do 2 of this pond. So that is like we are spending about 15,000 naira net to cover the surface of this our 4 tons capacity 18 pond. So very soon now, we are going to be needing hands to spread out this net. See, When snakes comes into your pond, when the snakes enters the net like this, the net will just trap it. The snake will be looking for ways to get out, and it won't be able to go out. The net, you'll be surprised the way this net traps snakes, it traps frogs, but for bigger predators like crocodile or bigger monitoring lizard, you need to sometimes, clear the bushy place around your pond. You need to come to your pond and make sure you are always coming there. There are some predators that this thing cannot prevent. That is where your farm ends come in. So this is the netting that we are doing today, because if you don't net your pond and you put 4,000 pieces of juvenile here, apart from the fact that there is mortality rate of about 12%, which happens at the tender age, if a white duck comes to your pond, sometimes I used to have about a group of white ducks that come here, ducks, about 20. They will just come and be eating fish. Sometimes they come in the night. Gray heron, they come too. Snakes, all sorts of things. So when they see this net, they will not want to go near the net. They will think it's a trap. They won't even go near it. But when you don't put nets, I'm telling you, those birds can come. Imagine when 20 birds visit your farm and one bird can eat about 10 juvenile. Imagine what you will lose. You will lose about 200 juveniles in one day, and they will keep coming every day. So in order to prevent fight with your breeder, when your breeder sells fish to you, you need to make sure that you guard your pond very well. I think the shape of this pond is good when they want to net it, because the net takes is like this. So this is how we net the pond. You see, he's trying to spread the net over the ropes that he has laid. Even when the birds come and they see this whitish net, the color alone will keep them away. It's very important to net your pond, even if it is big fish you have there. When you net your pond and intruders come close to your pond, you will know, because the net will be torn. You'll be able to tell if somebody has been to your farm or if somebody has gained access into your fish pond. Apart from the fact that it prevents predators, even human theft, you'll be able to know. Because if you don't net your pond, anybody can just come, put a net or put a hook inside your fish pond and they will take fish. You won't be able to tell. But if anybody comes and when there is net, after netting, it will use mud to cover the edges of where it's laying the net, so that if anybody comes there, they will need to tear the net before they can gain access into the pond. The pond is finally ready. We have placed the protective net on the surface of the pond. We have put the bamboos, can you see the bamboo stick that we use in raising the nets far away from the surface of the pond. Now the pond is ready and you can see water dropping inside the pond gradually. And if you also look at the surface of the pond, you will see this greenish substance. Can you see the greenish substance? That is some warfare that I put inside the pond. I want the warfare to grow so that when the catfish juvenile comes, catfish, they are voracious eaters. They take anything. Despite the fact that they are carnivores, they still eat plants too. So I just put the warfare there so that the warfare will be growing on the surface of the water pending the time the fish will come. So right now, we are going to leave the water inside this pond for about 2 weeks for natural fertilization to take place. When the fertilization takes place, you will see tadpoles. You will start seeing things that looks like mosquitoes larvae inside. Different kind of things inside the fish pond. That is when you will know that now you can introduce your fish inside. Can you see this? Like I said, this net is very effective when it comes to preventing predators from gaining entrance into the pond. Now I'm going to go around to see if there is any open space. Just to be sure, I just need to be sure that the pond is well covered, because we are done yet. We are only going to wait for 2 weeks and then we'll go get the juveniles. I have a breeder here in Akure. I don't breed catfish. I have people I buy from, and I just go to them, pay them, they just count the fish and they give them to me. The water level inside the pond is still rising up. It will come up to the level that it will reach this pipe. Once it reaches that pipe, then it will start flowing out. Now this is an example of fish predators. Can you see this? This is a dead frog. I think why we put this net yesterday, maybe it was trying to gain entrance into the pond and it got stuck. Can you see? This is frog. Can pose a threat to small fish. So also, if snake comes and snakes want to enter the pond, this net too can stop it. This is not the only pond that we are preparing. I am only using this one for video. We have another one here too that we prepared. This particular one was the one we did before that one. Almost the same capacity. Wow, this one, I didn't even know. Look at this snake now. The snake is dead and decaying. Can you see? And this is a very big snake. Can you see? It was trapped by this net and it couldn't go. Can you see that? So this is the function of the net. See, come closer. Once it traps the snake will get tangled in the net and they won't be able to go. Can you see? The net is very, very important when it comes to securing your pond from predators that tends to prey on your small fish. But when your fish are big, the only thing you will guard against is theft. At that time, if snakes enter your pond, depending on the size of the snake, it might not be able to take fish. In fact, the fish might even start preying on the snake. If frogs, by the time your fish is big, and frog, if you have fish like 1 kg, 1.5, if frogs jump inside, the frog will only serve as food. The only thing that can pose a threat to big fish is monitoring lizard or alligators, big ones. Then theft from humans. Thank you.